Hello everybody and welcome back to Analog Vernacular. Today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader and we finally got our girl Cassia back. So we have no more worries for any of our fights. Like Argenta and Cassia are back in the team, so literally zero worries are left. She nuked those guys into, non-existence. So that's cool.
Let us not dawdle.
We still don't have Heinrix. The torture device is locked and sealed. Okay. Where is Heinrix gonna be?
Made?
Isn't the worm gone? What was that? Don't you be doing that now? Alright, so maybe he's gonna be up here? Valancius rushes about the laboratory, snatching up certain tools, vials, and notes. He conceals some of these items inside his own body cavities, then destroys the rest. Does no one here wish to hail the victor who defeated the arena's best? I would rather hail the walking corpse who invited she who thirsts into my anatomical opera. The cult of the fatal thirst craves blood specimen, your blood, my blood. One must be astoundingly insensitive to the vibrations of the Dark City to not realize this. The homunculus notices Mirajai. I still don't know how to say his name. They pronounced it twice in a dialogue, and I already forgot. Dracon Azraish. After you went against the Archon of the Reaving Tempest, you decided to violate the wish of the Archons of the Black Heart as well? You were thrown into the arena to die. You show wretched incompetence by defying your masters. Oh, my presence offends you, I see. Good. Mirajai sneers and looks around. You've made yourself quite comfortable here in the chasm. Is this where you have kept the things that you dared not bring to the spire of the Reaving Tempest? It must be vexing having to abandon it all as you flee the cult's wrath. One of Tervancia's limbs twitches and strikes blindly. Only Mirajai's reflexes save him from a fatal neck wound. But the homunculus makes no further attempts to attack. He seems to care more about his substance and instruments than the insufferable Cabalite. Why do the witches desire my death? You humiliated them, monkey. Koronus and I agreed that she would send fresh meat against you, but she decided to undermine my authority by sending out her best. You slaughtered them, and so it was the cult's authority that suffered. But who cares about a pathetic monkey? You are my lackey, and thus it is I who is responsible for undermining the cult's authority. Oh, did I get you in trouble? And it wasn't enough for you to just kill them. You enticed one of the bloodstained proselytes to join the monkey side, as the entire chasm watched. A slap in the face of the cult wasn't enough for you, so you decided to spit in the face as well. Oh, but there is more. I hope Koronus and Sinisthoria are now writhing in horror at the mere thought that their headless subordinates have lost the Cabalite, who was sentenced to death by Nazrakai himself. First, they decided to play charity by making me a proselyte, and now they let me slip through their fingers. Oh, I wish I could see the succubus's face when she was given the news. So you dispatched me to kill the witches. Are you telling me you did not anticipate the consequences? It was supposed to go differently. Your performance was supposed to be a lesson in respect, not a declaration of war. You would have killed someone unimportant and made the witches' vanity bleed. The witches would have received your head as a salve for their wounded pride. They would have been reminded for a time that I was still someone who could greatly complicate their existence. Instead, you have failed me, all of you. Koronus did not keep her word, and you did not die in her trap. It is all your fault that things have spiraled out of control. Honestly, I care nothing about Koronus. You promised to help me get out of here. You hear mockery in the homunculus's voice? Forget the old promises, monkey. This is war. My loyal servants are being slaughtered across the chasm. I cannot take any more away with me. And each of those specimens is far more valuable than you. Mirajai's face suddenly changes, his mocking grin gone. He fixes his gaze on the homunculus. Into the spire of the Reaving Tempest, to hide under the wing of Eumeris, an Archon fallen into disgrace. What an imprudent choice. You should run away from her and her troubles, unless you are somehow connected to what she is guilty of. Tervancius glares at Mirage. You were not in a position to know about the Archon's plans before, much less now. And so unravel the rotten threads in the tapestry of fate, Elentok. Here is the true nature of the Dark Ones, a lie hidden behind sweet promises. Having learned from a cruel mistake, I foresaw this outcome. A belated wisdom. So, what's the plan then? I will leave the anatomical opera and withdraw to the spire of the Reaving Tempest. The witches won't dare to settle their scores under the eye of my patrons, so the Cabal's valuable servant is safe from their ire. As for you, go out into the streets of the chasm and die, or go to the arena and try to kill Koronus. Even if you succeed, you will still die. The homunculus mutters furiously and haughtily. I should have stopped wasting time on this idiocy long ago. All those pathetic simpletons did was weaken my focus and distract me from my masterpiece. At last I can devote all of myself to it. Okay. So I still managed to ruin you, unholy spawn. Tervancius' voice is filled with loathing. Your insight is astounding, specimen. But have you noticed that you have also ruined yourself? Tervancius becomes so absorbed in his thoughts that he starts shearing off pieces of his own flesh with his scissor-like claws. Why did that open? Enter the arena. The succubi will not pass up this chance to gut you in front of an audience. If you could simply wound Koronus, it would give us both enough time to escape. For that, I would be willing to sacrifice the deadliest and most valuable specimens in my collection. If you manage to kill her, run. Sin Astoria will not leave such impertinence unpunished, and her wrath is 100-fold more dangerous than Koronus' fury. Do not return to the chasm. You will find no shelter there. Seek salvation in other spires, and you may prolong your agony for a short time. Yeah, right. I wish to know more about you and your craft. I am not in the habit of conversing with specimens, but if it increases your motivation to serve... Cassia nods briefly and whispers, know your enemy and then crush him. This is a tactic I will remember. Okay, what is your craft? An absurd question befitting your small-minded kind. The homunculi are artists of anguish and the masters of flesh, the delvers into unexplored sources of pain. The greatest among their people. My head holds a brilliant intellect. My hands command power over life and death. My body is the pinnacle of surgical discipline. Our minds hold the knowledge of hundreds of generations. Are you aware of the beautiful variety of essences that can be extracted from the psychic energy of a dying sentient creature? Of the ways shades of torment and methods of termination alter an essence's properties? This is the great alchemy of death and transformation. It's a persuasion check. Why? Because we're lying to him? Smile obsequiously. Until this day, I could only dream of meeting such a wise and enlightened being. Succeeded. The homunculus's limbs react with an excited clatter of blades. I have few equals in Kumara. My knowledge is vast and it goes beyond the mysteries of flesh and essences. I have observed many disjunctions where the destructive energies of the unreal erupted here in the webway. I have studied the devastating force and learned to harness it. Totally worth my 11 experience. I have created psi stiflers to keep the space around this spire intact. I have touched knowledge so ancient. Tervancius abruptly ends his speech, casts a suspicious look at you, and then snaps. It is not necessary for you to know this, specimen. Am I to understand that the most fearsome Drukhari warriors are created by artisans such as you? Without a doubt. Even the most skilled witches and mighty Kabbalites are outstripped by the pure destructiveness of our genius. Yet I long ago rose above the building of commonplace battle beasts. The monstrosities I create are unique. My last specimen, the Chitonos, surpassed every trifle ever made by my rivals. I fed it elite warriors until it escaped and hid in the mangled sector. I would have caught it, but then a new idea drew my attention. Oh, you mean that thing I murdered? Can I tell him that I killed it? At present, I am working on a grotesque of previously unknown power built from the most exquisite and exotic body parts from strong fighters. Specimen, should you ever see the corpse of a fine warrior or a mighty creature lying at your feet, cut out the best part and bring it to me. Oh, I've actually found some samples, so I shall find you some interesting samples. Okay, Maraga, do you not get enough monsters in this accursed city? Good specimen, your cooperation will be rewarded. Okay. So did I actually give them stuff? Why did I survive the interrogation to which Mirage brought me? Your body was given to me for disposal. It was thrown into the cesspit. The homunculus's voice grows thoughtful. It is an anomaly that the specimen did not die. I must consider fitting the disposal chute with a shredding mechanism. Gross. Juliet shakes her head. The Master of Flesh is twisting the truth, Elentok. Had Erebenian not interfered in the Archon's trial, there's a chance that no one would have survived the questioning. Okay, let us stop here. I found some materials. Are they suitable for your new monster? The homunculus, this is such a bad idea. Why am I giving him material for creating something? He digs through the chunks of flesh with the enthusiasm of a hungry vulture. Finally, he snaps. Good materials, good specimen. Bring me more. Okay, so we gave him 1, 2, 3, 4 different things. And I get nothing in return? I don't want to kiss his ass, but this is the only thing we haven't gone down. What payment can I offer you for your invaluable time and attention? His smile is a strange combination of contempt and pleasure. Your paltry possessions do not interest me. If you had something that could intrigue a master sculptor such as I, perhaps a remarkable piece of organics, then I might grant you a few short moments of my time. If it is a sacrifice you want, artisan of flesh, then I am ready to offer myself as one. Wait, what? Juliet's voice vibrates, but she keeps her eyes locked on Tervantius. Will you take my flesh? Why? Don't. No. I will take more than flesh. I can extract something far more valuable from a single shred of your organics. The homunculus smiles unnervingly. This does interest me. I will not remove much of her. Her functionality will not suffer. Juliet, why? This will be a step upon the path of atoning for the errors of my past, Elentok. If my sacrifice will bring you closer to salvation, I will commit myself into the hands of the tormentor. No, I'm not gonna let that happen. She frowns, and you catch a strange look in her eyes. A mixture of sadness, relief, and shame? Tervantius shrugs, and the spark of curiosity in his eyes fades. Okay, does that just take us back to that? After rummaging through what you have, Tervantius pulls out a fragment of flesh. Okay, he splits off a piece of it, places it in his mouth, thinks for a while, and finally concludes, Curious, you have earned my attention, specimen. Speak quickly. Okay. So we gave you the beast claws. I shall need equipment. The servants are always dragging worthless trifles in here. I have no use for them. Find yourself a club or a sharp stick suited for your abilities. You could try something more advanced, assuming you are not afraid of accidentally killing yourself with it. Oh. Cool. Okay. Okay. Materials. So we gave him a whole bunch before, and then we gave him another one, but now he won't. Huh, interesting. Okay.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
So I guess we're done with you. Let's go ahead and look at some of that new stuff. (20 to 25, 17 to 28, but that one also does bleeding. So this is going to be the same. Attacks with the Glimmer Steel Blade inflict bleeding 4 if the target fails a toughness resistance test. Each successful attack with this weapon increases the bleeding effect it inflicts by +3. Okay. I think I'm gonna keep the setup he's got now? No, that armor penetration. More armor penetration on that one. Let's do that. We'll do those two. Okay, what else you got? Immune to being slowed and immobilized. Okay, that's something we can put on if we run into that as an issue. Plus 10 strength, plus 5 toughness. 40% dodge? Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna put one of those on you. Restores wounds based on Xenos. I wonder if that would be better than a regular medkit. But I guess it's only for self, right? Heals 1 trauma and all injuries. Let's save before doing this.
Field medicine at its finest.
It said all injuries, thank you very much. It did in fact say all injuries, but that was clearly a lie. Is this one coming from something different? No, this is just an injury. She's more valuable. I'm gonna do it for her. That's unfortunate that it didn't get rid of both. It absolutely said it would get rid of both. Oh well. What's it got to do? We could have some other thing somewhere that can get rid of injuries, but I think for now that'll be fine.
Keep your wits about you.
I don't know what the triggers are for these. Damn, I don't see Heinrix up here. How do I get access to those? Here's the biggest issue, is that they're giving me so little information that I continually find myself scared to move on with the quest in fears that I will miss out on saving somebody. Like if I go to the arena right now, what if that's the end of this area and we're able to escape afterwards? He basically said that if we go there and we kill Koronus, we're gonna have to run. At that point, am I able to try and go and save anybody?
I always
Like,
have
where
a
is
backup
Heinrix?
plan.
Can't really ask him about it.
Let us not dawdle.
He wasn't over here. The Drukhari, who was just leaning over a body encased in a strange sarcophagus-like device, turns around. The Xenos' face is covered by a mirrored mask, and he is holding tools of some kind. They more resemble a torturer's implement than those of a surgeon. A guttural hiss comes from behind the mask. What do you want, cattle? Examine the body. Oh, it's Heinrix! Jesus Christ. So had we not checked talking to that guy, we would have just missed it? Oh my gosh. I don't know. The presentation of this has been weird. You instantly recognize the man who is pinned with hooks and bonds to the numerous needles sticking out of the bowels of the device. Despite the deathly pale, bloodless tone of his skin, Interrogator Heinrix Van Kalox is still alive. Judging by his weakly rising and falling chest and his frantically wandering, half-open eyes, his head is viced by a wide metallic band. Blood is seeping from underneath it. The Drukhari notices you taking interest and grabs his weapon. Get out, cattle. Master Van Kalox. Cassia's ruby eyes are tearing up against her will. It is as if all the colors had been draining from him. Pale ghostly shadows of former hues are still clinging to his soul. We have to get him out of this machine. We must. Okay? Step away from the contraption, and I will let you live. Succeeded. Something in your voice gives the torturer pause, and he tilts his head. You cannot see his expression because of the mirrored mask, but a moment later, the Xenos hisses, hunches his shoulders, and scurries away. Okay, what would happen if we failed that? That is not where you are, bro. The body inside the sarcophagus is not moving. Heinrix appears to have no awareness of his surroundings. His clouded gaze is directed past you. Heinrix, it's vernacular. Can you hear me? Heinrix's head moves ever so slightly. You get a good look at his eyes now. The pupils are constricted to the size of a pinhead. He is blind. His bitten, bloodied lips begin to move. What do you mean he's blind? To the warp with you, beast. I've heard all of this before. You won't trick me again. Okay, so because his pupils are so dilated, he can't see. Gotcha. This is no trick. Pull yourself together. I need your help. Heinrix's unseeing eyes move back and forth, struggling to spot you. It can't be. Vernacular, is it really you? Where are you? Are you close by? In the name of the throne, find a way to pull me out of this coffin. Okay. Release him from the device. You cut the tubes, pull out the hooks and the needles, and unshackle Heinrix. He almost falls out of the Drukhari device, barely landing on his feet. He gestures feebly at his eyes. I can't see a thing. Give me a moment to process what they've done to me. The air around him grows noticeably colder. Blasted, I can't sense my body. What happened to you after we were captured? They moved me multiple times from one place to another, but what those places were, I cannot say. I saw spires in an ocean of mist. I saw the bows of a Drukhari ship. I almost broke free one time. Few things frightened me. Frightened the Xenos as much as warp powers. I was close. Heinrix shakes his head. One might consider my words heretical, but I would say it was only because of the homunculus who took me here that I stayed alive after falling in that scuffle. From there, it was just this place, this coffin, and pain. Did they blind you? No, I don't think so. It's likely just my body reacting to extended bouts of pain. To think that I have forgotten what it's like to experience such basic impulses. As a biomancer, I can stifle my physical reactions. Perhaps that is why I was picked for this device, because I had distanced myself from the sensation of pain, and because of my stubbornness that forbade me from giving up. You cannot sense your body? What does that mean exactly? If I knew, I wouldn't be pondering the matter right now. Vernacular, I think. He pauses, seemingly listening to something. The circlet on my head wasn't inhibiting my abilities. It was turning them inward, binding them inside my body. They made me torture myself with warp energies. I was burning and mutilating my internal organs. Damn Xenos. Heinrix clenches his fist in fury and immediately winces from the pain. Can you walk? We do not have much time. I can move, yes. Warp take them. I feel like my nerves have been turned inside out and then sewn back like that. For the time being, I will have to suffer pain whenever I take a step until I cooperate. Now that I am free to use my powers again, it's certainly achievable. Heinrix rubs his face and looks up at you, his eyes somewhat unfocused. As soon as he manages to focus, however, his gaze shifts behind your shoulder, then he freezes, having met Mirage-Eye's gaze. Heinrix's face takes on an expression of primal ferocity. Calm yourself, Van Kalox. The enemy of our enemy is our ally. Ally? Heinrix is rendered speechless for a moment. The skies will sooner fall than I call that filth my ally. You may extend your protection to an abomination that will inevitably disembowel you alive, but do not dare to instruct me on my stance on the enemies of humanity. Insult me again, monkey, and I will show you the filth I can be in my anger. This little diversion, Mirage-Eye scrapes the sarcophagus-like device with the claw of his gauntlet, will seem delightful in comparison. Bye. Heinrix barely manages to tear his hateful gaze away from the Drukhari when he notices Yurliet standing next to him and lets out an agonized groan. Vernacular, you have got to be kidding me. He's having such a bad day. He's like, really? Really? She betrayed you. He's the one who's the reason why we're like, two of the people who are the reason why we're here. What's your deal, bro? And I'm over here like shrugging, like, they're powerful? I don't know. Heinrix barely manages to tear his hateful gaze away from the Drukhari when he notices Juliet. Okay, I already read that. Let's see. Juliet did not want us to suffer this fate. I think that's supposed to say that this is Heinrix. Of course, this is why she sold us out to her kinsman at the drop of a hat. Heinrix shakes his head as if chasing away an excruciating dream. Enough. I'm not going to hear anything that is going to give me any hope. Heinrix, spelt wrong, by the way, squints, struggling to see anything through his unfocused eyes. He finally rubs them and turns his gaze to Juliet standing behind you. Vernacular, am I hallucinating, or is the Xenos who consigned us to this nightmare back in your retinue? The interrogator's voice rings with incandescent rage. Okay, weird double text here. Juliet did not want us to suffer this fate. Of course. Is this just gonna loop? He shakes his head as if chasing away an excruciating dream. Heinrix looks in your direction and blinks. We can go, but you will have to take point for a little while. Okay. Alright. 2 level ups here. It will not die, I think, is a common talent, so we wouldn't want that. Each dodge adds damage to the next successful attack. Looks like we took Deadly Calculation. We'll unmark that. Yeah, let's take Esquive, however you pronounce that. I have no idea if I'm being honest. Hold on, let's look at these ones real quick. Psyker's armor increases by 5%. This bonus increases by 5% at the start of every round of combat except the first. That is really good. Won't be able to get Psi rating for a little while longer. Yeah, we're going to take this one for now. Okay. Yeah, let's do Strength. And then for common talents... Yep, it will not die is in fact a common. That's an option. But some of those other abilities that we were looking at are probably down here, right? Yeah. Armor increases. Let's take Destined. Okay. And I think that we're going to have to do a bunch of equipment again. So I will be back in a moment. I'm just going to pause and then show you where we land. Okay, we are back. So let's take a look. The wear Psi rating is increased by +1 against demons and for each rank of dogmatic. So right now our 3 Psi rating is now 5. So anything that's Psi rating based is going to have a bunch of big bonuses. So like his healing ability is probably going to be more effective. And that damage ability that he has is probably going to be more effective. So that's kind of cool. I think that before he had light armor, but I'm going to try medium armor on him. 50% on this. It has an extra 10% dodge and 10% armor against humans. He has 3 times the Psi rating, which this is a huge bonus as well from pairing with this. 3 times the Psi rating melee attack damage increase. So that's awesome. We didn't have a good amulet. We need more amulets, man. We don't have good amulets for people, so he's just getting some lore Imperium, fellowship, and commerce. Let's see, he has Mystic Ward. At the start of every combat, the wearer's allies gain deflection equal to the wearer's Psi rating, which is 5, again. Whenever an ally suffers any damage and loses non-temporary wounds, this effect is removed from that ally. Grants the wearer plus 10 weapon skill and plus 5 strength. Each time the wearer dodges a melee attack, they gain a plus percentage to critical hit chance until the end of their next turn, and it can stack. At the start of the wearer's turn, they gain plus 20% dodge until the end of round. So if he gets, the higher he gets an initiative, the longer that's going to be a bonus for him. So, and with high agility, that's going to be relatively good on him. For weapons, he has his force sword back. He has that needle pistol that does toxic, and he's got his Siphon Life staff. So there you go. Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back.
Is there money to be made?
Okay. All right, so I think we're heading just back to the arena, right? We've got our entire team back. Let's check our journal, just to be absolutely, you know. Oh, maybe not. You have insulted the cult of the fatal thirst, outsider. You have insulted the fighting pit itself. The witches are longing for you to die.
I will take you down.
Okay, I guess we're gonna fight, are we? Oh my god, look at this guy. A grotesque? First time we've seen those guys. All right, some of these boys are gonna be easy. Oh my gosh, Cassia, where is your best thing gonna be? Okay, first off, Argenta, you come over here. Cassia, where are you? I feel like if you pick a spot here, you might be able to get like everybody over there. Let's see. I don't want you in the way of Cassia. So I'm gonna put you there.
I'll show you the real pain. Witness the fury of House Valancius.
Oh, it feels good to have her back, doesn't it? Oh, baby.
I'll show you the real pain.
All right, she's not in the greatest spot in the world, not gonna lie, but who's going next? Argenta? Okay, let's give her voice of command.
Ordered around.
What does that do again? Oh yeah, I forgot about her stratagems. Let's make sure that our rear is wherever she is. I'll give her extra crit.
That is foolishness.
Well, let's see, what does this do? Okay, pretty decent damage there. Good dodge. Okay, Argenta. Two are in your way. I think this is the only one who's going to have an attack of opportunity because he's got a two-handed. So let's see if we can kick you away. And then if you go here, you'll get those bonuses from the attack.
Rejoice in battle! As the Emperor commands, strike is a prayer.
Okay, we can probably finish this guy, yeah? God damn. Overwhelming stratagem right there, okay. And that'll put us over the mark. let's just get this going so that we have bonus turns every single round. Hopefully we don't hit Heinrix.
I'll do it.
That had better.
All right, we can live with one. Sorry, Heinrix. You did good, buddy. Something gave you an extra turn, only 2 AP. So what do we want to do? Let's do this. Let's shoot that guy. And let's give Yearliet better hit chances. Do we need to kill Rack? He didn't seem to be in the fight. Rack just does not care about any of this. Alright. Now if you go here, alright, let's maybe not assume, he actually doesn't have that much armor. This gun has 100% over penetration. Does that still work with somebody big like him? I think so.
If I must.
Nope, it does not. Alright, we'll have to keep trying that out. This is the over-penetrating one, right? Yes. I wonder if they're 2 squares, if it's not possible to over-penetrate through them. Let's see. Now, I can pretty much guarantee that kill. So I'm gonna mark you. I'm gonna mark you.
I am not your Xenos pet monkey.
I'm gonna mark you. I'm gonna get 2 extra AP by doing this. Over penetration worked there. Good. And then we're gonna take the precision. We're gonna take raid. Can't take advantage of that. Who has armor? You do, so maybe we'll strip your armor. So I went from 40 to 16, not bad. And something else that I might actually do is that these ones that end turns, I'm going to put them on a different line so that I'm not as likely to accidentally pop it. Let's do that. Okay. Finish off the big guy. Oh, so close.
I'll return
You know what, fair.
Oh, mere pain won't stop me.
Killing is
Kind of
my
bunched up,
art.
so. Oh, nice. Give this to yourself. Yep, that'll give you a little bit of extra health. Let's see.
I'll make it happen.
High momentum.
Okay, good shot.
This tedium is.
Oh my gosh, good shot, girl. She's so good. Finish off that one.
This can't be.
It's just the one guy left?
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. Your skill is lacking. As duty demands.
Is my skill lacking? Because I think I just wrecked you. Oh, here comes the Harlequin. Nocturne of Oblivion, the already familiar baritone calls out to you from the shadows. The key unlocks a door that then will lead to one that only happenstance will free. Your chance I'll be, to me the bolts will cede. Your part comes next to break the bonds and flee. To you, the merchant vagabond, I bring the gift of providence, but will you look? Okay. Similar visual effect that we get from Cassia when she has her little emotion fits. Sudden pain grips your skull and your vision clouds over, but as soon as you resurface, a dramatic scene appears before you. The streets of the Dark City are teeming with hundreds of colors, from grimy gray shades of to extravagantly bold hues. At first they blend together in your vision, but soon you are able to distinguish their sources. People, Xenos, animals, you, and of course, the Harlequin standing in front of you. The Xenos' colors are like those of a broken kaleidoscope. Your eyes water at the mere attempt to pick any one thing out, and your head is splitting more than ever. Yet despite this, you are subconsciously aware that the dark lilac cloud surrounding the slender figure poses unspeakable danger, and that the bright sparkles of silver indicate that this danger, at least for now, is directed at you. When you avert your gaze and slowly exhale, the vision falls away as if it was never there. The Harlequin observes you with interest, his silence speaking volumes. Vernacular, your colors. What have you done to him, Xenos? Cassia lifts her chin and the third eye on her forehead flutters threateningly behind the eyelid. Tilting his head to the side, he looks at Cassia with curiosity. So many things can three eyes glimpse at once. Shael's veiled paths and caverns of the soul, but with 1,000 sights you could not see the wrecks of fate beneath reality. Past's creaking waltz will twirl you round in halls of intertwining serendipity. But not just yet. The dance calls for a pair. Your partner is, for now, tied up with me. I do not understand. Sorry, me too, Cassia. Oh, nectar sweet, your name is ignorance. Make sure to savor every drop before. Your glass is drained by insight in a blink. Okay? I shall deign to spare you 1 whole minute of my extremely valuable time. Do not waste it. 'Tis wise indeed to count each moment past. To nothingness they stream like grains of sand. They steal your hours and days until, at last, they turn to dust in Reaper's wasted hand. You stride not into battle but a snare. Of guile and strife a neatly woven net. Lust's mistress lifts her sword into the air, and baying for your blood her pact does set. So dance a ring around oblivion, await a sign from night's own melody. Catch sight of it, and then make haste be gone. 1 yawning mouth, 1 leap to set you free. Okay, so, Kikaros is planning to kill me in the next fight, but you are ready to effect my escape. All I must do is survive the arena, wait for your sign, then run. You cannot possibly mean into a literal mouth, so you must mean for me to leap into a portal of some kind? Do I have that right? The Harlequin sweeps in a low bow, like an actor who has performed before a true lover of high art. He seems satisfied with your answer. Now, somebody tell me, if you are dogmatic or heretical, do you still get something like that for each of those? It just leans into whichever one you have the highest points in. The Xenos lays a finger over the mute lips of his mask and vanishes, as if to convey that your conversation is a great secret known only to the two of you. Alright, we've got to be at rank 3 in Iconoclast now, right? Alright, let's take a look. Damn, how are we not there yet? 194, okay. We are so close. So right now we have Master of Command. So we get a little bit of additional movement. What are we going to get at rank 3? Courage and Steel. 30 less momentum to activate a heroic act. That's pretty cool, actually. You know what, let's put everything over. That seems unique. Okay. Okay, fresh injury, old injury. Wonder if I should deal with those. Probably, right?
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
Just reduce the chances of us taking more
Let's patch you up.
Your technology is limited.
wounds
But
or
I
whatever
am
they're called. Not
grateful.
wounds, but you know what I'm trying to say. Major injuries.
I always keep my options open.
Okay, journal. Okay, we've collected everybody. Finish off Koronus. That's Nomos. It's possible that we missed some checks that would have gotten us some of these. So I don't know if we'll be able to finish that one. I gave them everything that I found so far.
Keep your wits about you.
We've been what I would consider thorough, but it's so easy to miss things. An unfamiliar monster, even more terrifying than the previous one of the homunculus' servants, bars your way. Its voice is as dry as death itself. Master Valancius sent me. The Master wishes for you to send Koronus on a swift journey to She Who Thirsts. Do not expect a fair fight, this is your execution. However, Koronus is incapable of adequately assessing whatever she fails to comprehend. Therefore, you stand a chance, albeit a negligible one. Should you survive, do not return here. The witches will seek revenge, which is why the Master has already left the chasm and found new patrons. He suggests you do the same, so says the Master. The monotony and accuracy with which the monster repeats Valancius' words reminds you of the way servitors communicate. So we have been thrown to the witches. Even if we survive this fight, we will not survive the retribution of the Dark City. I hope the Erebenian knows exactly how his play is going to end. Okay. Will you go to your Master now? The Master doesn't need me anymore. I'll go kill someone, get their pieces, and make myself stronger. Okay. You do you, bro. We'll let him do his thing. Thirsters, do you want to witness a great legend as ancient as Kamara itself? I give it to you now. Behold the tale of Cirliel, the exile, the succubus dethroned. Cirliel was a mighty warrior of a cult, renowned and deadly. Her dance of battle was an entrancing perfection of terror. But then a time came when an audacious apprentice supplanted Cirliel, turned her servants against her, and drove her out of the Dark City. She wandered the webway's savage wilds and slew scores of their terrible horrors as she fought for her life. In the legend, she slew them all and pressed onward, but our story will be shorter. Kill. Alright, I'm gonna check something just really quickly before we move forward too far. Alright, a quick Google search confirmed a suspicion I had, and I'm actually really glad I checked when I did. I reloaded the save here. I don't have a guarantee that this is gonna work how I hope it will. We may have missed an opportunity, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out together. And then I'm gonna complain about it if we can't do it now. Because the game clearly did not give us proper signals or the feedback that would have been proper to make sure that we made this happen. Either way, I feel like the game improperly flagged this stuff. We'll talk about it in a minute, but let's just see if we can even do anything. Oh, I don't even know what those switches are. I don't think those were activatable earlier. We've been seeing Ulfar here. Can we talk to him? We can talk. See, he didn't even...
them cut down.
All right. So, are you gonna keep doing this? Okay, I'm gonna turn down my volume because I can't talk while he's doing that. This game has a way of telling you when you can interact with somebody by talking to them. And it has a little like talk icon on the mouse, but he didn't for Ulfar. So every time I came by, I assumed that we couldn't talk to him, and I kept pushing the thing up here instead of clicking on him. That's a problem of using the visual language of the video game that I've been taught for the last 80 hours, and then not using it in a time where it's very, very important. Okay, but anyway. Singing softly under his breath, the man of enormous proportions is intently stripping raw meat from a bone with his teeth. His unwashed red hair is falling into his face, his beard is matted and blood-stained, and the aforementioned teeth look more like fangs than any human equivalent. This dude is like eating the people he kills. I'm not sure we want to be talking to him, but here we are. A less knowledgeable person might not recognize this giant humanoid, but you are well aware that this is a space marine, an angel of the Emperor. Okay, we failed an Imperium test. Honestly, ooh, we actually even got close too. Rolled a 20 when we needed below a 15. His body is covered in primitive scar tattoos, the meaning of which eludes you. Kneel before him. Hail, angel of the Emperor. A red brow quirks upward slightly. In approval, it seems. Without breaking off from his meal, he nods at you. For an ordinary human, such a show of regard is a high honor. Picking a piece of meat from between his teeth, the warrior resumes his murmuring singing. Between the lines of his song, he tosses out, "What do you want?" Study the man. The huge body with straggly overgrown red hair perfectly suits the deep, chilling voice of this man, or of this beast in the guise of a man. Tribal, scar-like tattoos cover his chest, arms, and back, and you glimpse intricate braids in his mass of unwashed hair. His body bears so many pale scars that you cannot count them all, and muscles bulge beneath his skin like boulders. He looks like a statue carved from stone. It is clear that the captivity has sapped this prisoner of none of his physical power. Your assessment is confirmed when you spot the remains of a Drukhari in the pile of carrion at his feet. Likely one of the homunculus' servants. The Drukhari's flesh appears to be making a fine snack for your new acquaintance. Hey man, he's gotta get his protein somewhere. You can't maintain that physique without some protein. So he's just eating people. Wow. Listen closely to the song the prisoner is singing to himself. You do not know the language. The sounds seem crude and mangled, but not entirely lacking. The harsh dignity of a form of Gothic, while also sounding similar to the rumble of a landslide, sharp and choppy, guttural. Sharp and choppy guttural phrases tumbling forth in a harsh rhythm. Okay, fellowship, let's try and join the singing, 50-50. We succeeded, hell yeah. You close your eyes and enter the flow of the song like slipping into a fast-flowing mountain river. Words rise up naturally in your mind. They are not the same one sung by the prisoner, but you sense their aptness. Verse flows from your lips, full of surprising poetic metaphors and bloody details of a nameless hero fighting monsters under the light of unfamiliar stars.
You are the one who has supped the mjord of the Skjalds, I see. In the long haul, some of my brothers will be eager to tell you of their exploits so that you would sing a saga of their deeds.
Dude, is this guy still sane? Who are you?
I am a wolf.
Ulfa. At first glance, the man does not strike you as possessing great intellect. He is clearly more accustomed to mauling and killing than thinking. But you detect a certain shrewdness in his eyes. After looking you over, he says shortly, "How did you come to be here?"
My pack answered the Inquisition's call and came to the Koronus Expanse. There was a battle, and then the young wolves yearning to be meat for their brotherlings. To a feast of bolters they went out roving. Though they were but few, one long fang with them went loping. Not to see them cut down by scythes and clean. The pups he sent scattering, and there stood alone the paths guarding. For a foe he long spied, one worthy among unworthy. The song of swords singing, they clashed with clamor and skill, until stood the old wolf upon the bones. Then, by the birds of battle, was he brought down. Was that clear enough? This saga sounds less interesting in prose.
why does the homunculus keep you in a cage?
For his own safety. When I am not busy killing inhuman spawn in the arena, the Xenos fear my will.
Let's see. I want to help you.
Who are you to offer me help? You stink of Xenos. I see you are on friendly terms with them. You are not sitting in a cage, and you smell of someone else. Someone spiteful and cunning.
You can smell Mirazai on
You
me?
cannot help me.
It's like a freaking wolfhound over here. He's like, Mirazai, I smell him on you, bro. I wish to know more about your brothers.
That butcher sent you to spy for him, did he? Or do they know nothing of the Emperor's angels, the space wolves of Fenris, or the great Layman Russ in your corner of the galaxy?
So pointed the piece of meat in his hand. Don't they feed you?
A predator does not eat only when it is hungry. There are many reasons to eat.
Does it taste good?
I cannot recommend it.
Okay, well, there's
The
that.
meat of these Xenos is steeped in corruption and frailty, as well as the foul substances they inject into their blood in vast quantities.
So you must be planning to escape, yes?
Escape? What for? Here I eat, here I kill. Why would I want to leave?
Dude, how long has he been stuck here? The dude is more animal than man. I have no more questions. Ew. Chewing, he wipes the blood from his mouth with the back of his hand. A warrior such as you could prove useful to me.
To get what you want, you will have to convince two very headstrong individuals. Me and my captor. That claw-handed Xenos.
Okay, we better be able to talk to him about this. Or I will riot. Are you serious right now? Are you gonna make me reload to before I gave him the meat? Apparently the meat has something to do with this. And we asked for the wrong favor, but had we talked to Ulfar before, we might have been able to get this. Okay, yeah, these pictures aren't super helpful. Okay, so that's... Is that when we got Heinrix? That was when we were about to leave. Let's see. Did we give him the meat after collecting Heinrix or before collecting Heinrix? Alright, first off... This is such a poorly implemented part of the story. Alright, let's see if this was before or after we gave him the chunks of meat we found. Okay, you're equipped. So this was a save after we equipped you, which is good. Fuck me. How far back did we do this? I mean, I'm not gonna use Ulfar. Do I really want to go back to try and get him in the party? If it's gonna be this much of a pain in my... Like, I'm gonna have to redo a bunch of stuff. Like, we may have done that before I even had Cassia. I don't know about this, man. Maybe there's another way. This act is really getting under my skin. I heard that Act 3 onward had a lot of bugs and a lot of weirdness and stuff. I don't know, I guess I didn't expect it to really bother me as much.
Is there money to be made?
Increases range attack distance. Agility and fellowship. 8 or more AP at the start of their turn, they gain 30% damage for the rest of the combat. Huh. I don't think I'm going to go back. I think we're just going to have to lose out on Ulfar as a companion. I mean, if the game isn't going to respect me, I don't know what to do, man. I'm not redoing all that stuff. Give me a minute while I try to double check and see if there are alternate ways, but we might just be shit out of luck. You know what? It's the end of the episode, so I'll let you know at the beginning of the next one if I find anything out, but I don't think I'm gonna go further back to try and make this happen. Yeah. Okay, cool. What does it say in the journal real quick? So there was a quest for him, wasn't there? Did we not find boots? Alright, well, I don't know, man. This game's pissing me off right now. I'll let you guys know what I find out. Bye.
I'd like to give a very special shout out to my patron supporters: Darren York, ZTD, Knife Namaste, Kyle the Monarch, Chris Murphy, JW, Quinless, Vlado101, Andy Ford, Bruce Wizzle, Black Mamba 90, Eureka Gecko, A Happy Fat Panda, Turkeyfoot 27, Pedo Kuto, Shadow Raven, Hannah Kate the Great, The Blue Electric Cat, Emily Kuzanoa, Philip Dougherty, and Nadia N. If you would also like to join this tier or any others, check out my memberships or my Patreon in the description down below.